that review went on for a good 40 minutes and we still didn't cover everything that needed to be covered, largely because the referee lost control of the game and because there was so much other incident. I guess when you've got arguably, well, definitely a red card, loads of yellow cards, certainly some penalty decisions, and some cards that possibly should have been red, and 5 goals, then you're not going to cover everything that you need to. And let's be fair, the review can't really be an hour long. But there was a couple of things I really wanted to talk about, and well, two in particular. Firstly, Ben Johnson. I want to talk about Ben Johnson. Secondly, I must talk about Manuel Lanzini and his impact on that game as well. Before I do, this video, as always, is sponsored by the OneFootball app. You can download it by clicking the link below. Put all the West Ham news into one place. It's not just a West Ham app, I must be honest, a Premier League app. If you want to read through all the Premier League news, you can. But when you sign up, click that you support West Ham, and it will just say, who do you follow? West Ham, England, puts all that news into one place for you. Results, gossip, takeover talk. A lot of takeover talk this week, has to be said. Best of all, it's free, and they're big supporters of Hammers Chat. Please use the link below. Okay, Ben Johnson. Just absolutely delighted with what's happening here. Look, we got the moniker, haven't we? When I say the moniker, I don't mean we've got a lady called Monica. I mean we have, as a club, we have attained the moniker as the Academy of Football. Some people say, well, this is a self-appointed title. Fair enough, that may be so, but when you are given such a title, when you anoint yourself as such a thing, it's important you do have people from the academy coming through. And we've had some lean times in recent years. So there was just something extremely poetic about Declan Rice assisting Ben Johnson for his goal. But that was a really, really pivotal and important goal, because I felt it did a couple of things, really. I thought, number one, it set the tone for the game, or at least it should have done. That game was a lot more sticky than it needed to be, and maybe I'll deal with that in another video rather than digress. But the other thing it did, it validated and vindicated David Moyes' decision to go with him instead of Soufal. And this is really quite important, actually, when given the context that Soufal has just signed a brand new contract at West Ham. He has come in like a whirlwind, like a massive force of nature. We love everything about him. It's fair to say, I didn't hear too many arguments last season when I was saying this guy is one of the best right-backs in the league. I didn't get too many arguments at all. Not, maybe one or two, but by and large, if I turn around and said he's one of the best 3 or 4 full-backs in the league, right-backs in the league, people say, yeah, he is. And that's the sort of standard that Johnson has to get to. Not only that, I think really Soufal sealed it when he sort of dismantled Jack Grealish. Not literally, well, almost literally, actually, in the game against Villa last season, funny enough. So actually it was quite fitting that was probably Soufal's best game. There was all these memes and GIFs about him having a Grealish in his pocket, and somebody did that really funny interview with Grealish afterwards, which was a sort of mock-up of it. It's quite fitting that I think a right-back could play so well against Villa again this season. In fact, we had 2 right-backs on the pitch that time, didn't we? Fredericks and Soufal. Yet fast forwards to this season, and it's a completely different right-back. So I think that was really fitting as well. But my point is, Johnson has to do incredibly well. He actually has to match Soufal's standards to get in that team. And I just thought that really vindicated David Moyes' decision to do it. But also it was a case of him saying, well, look, I can defend well, which he can. He wins tackles really well, wins headers really well. I think he sort of physically is able to impose himself on the game. But then what can you do in an attacking third? And actually scoring that goal was wonderful. And then really quickly afterwards, he got down, he put over a really good cross. So he's showing both facets to his game then. And I think, as well, you've got to put it into context, some of the players he's playing against as well. So actually, you look at it against City, he had Sterling up against him all game. And he's playing all the time. He's playing 2 games a week at the moment. Sterling barely got a sniff. In fact, the only time Sterling got a sniff was the header, and that's when he drifted in the middle and a centre-back should have marked him. Then you look at Son against Tottenham. Son, again, is a wonderful player, magnificent player. Marked him out of the game. And it's just... Bailey's a good player. I tell you now, Bailey is a good player. But from the word go in that game, Johnson had Bailey running backwards and running in the wrong direction. I thought it was absolutely magnificent, by the way. So, look, well done, Ben Johnson. He's been at West Ham since he was 7 or 8. West Ham through and through. We've not had the best of luck with fullbacks, right and left, over the years. But I tell you what, we ain't doing too badly at the moment. And if there was a suggestion that it might be an area we need to strengthen on, we don't need to anymore. He's actually establishing himself as the right back at the moment, but I will just say this. It's not just right back, he can play right wing back. He also covers left back and left wing back as well. Hell of a player. Really good player. I don't know what's going to happen. Look, he needs to sign a new contract at West Ham, certainly. But he's played, I think it's 35 to 40 appearances now, first team appearances at West Ham. I can see this kid. I was going to say kid. He's a grown man. I can see this young man playing 200-300 games for West Ham at least, and I think that's a massive testament to him, and actually is a massive testament to the academy as well. And long may it continue. And actually look forward to the next one coming through. Just the other thing I wanted to discuss, I didn't really get an opportunity to discuss fully in the review, was the way Lanzini stepped up into that game. I thought, right up until that point, Gio made the point that Ben Rama jumped out the challenge. He did, but I don't think that's why Lanzini was brought on. Lanzini wasn't brought on because we were jumping out of challenges. Really, if he wanted to seal the deal, he would have done what he normally does and brought Dawson on and shuffled it around or done something else. There are other things he could have done. I felt the problem that West Ham were having at the time was our ball retention was bad. Really, really bad. We had too many players giving the ball away. So that's why Lanzini came on. I've got to be honest with you, from a ball retention point of view, I was a little bit surprised it was Ben Rama, but Gio's right. He did it because he pulled out of a challenge. But when Lanzini came on, it improved immediately. We were just able to hang on to the ball. We were a little bit calmer. He's got the vision. Not only that, Lanzini almost demands the ball when he's marked. And he's just a top quality player. So not only will he pass the ball move, and he'll demand it back. So you start getting your little triangles, you start to get your give and goes, and it just improves the overall football as a result. I thought this was going to be a good season for Lanzini, but for different reasons. I thought it would be because last season Lanzini showed that he could play deeper in central midfield. So I worked on the assumption that in Europe, until we got into the knockout phase, if we did, when we played maybe lesser teams in Europe, then we'd maybe see Lanzini and Noble or Lanzini and Krau playing in central midfield. I thought Lanzini's role would be slightly different this season than it has actually turned out to be. But he's shown he's a massively important part of the squad, but for slightly different reasons that I thought would happen. And I thought the goal really summed that up, because that showed composure, showed good positioning, it showed an unselfish nature, and that will go a long way with Moyes. Particularly, goal difference is important, really important. I think that the top three, by and large, will be gone, and I don't think we'll ever catch them. We're never going to, over the course of a season, score as many goals as Chelsea, and Man City and Liverpool, granted. But goal difference, can that be comparable with the others that are going to be vying for fourth place with us? Then that's really important. So that lack of selfishness and that vision that he showed there is, immensely helpful. What I really did like, having earned that, and I felt he earned that goal, when it came to the free kick, I don't know if you saw it, Cresswell sort of stepped back and he went, no, after you, mate. After you. Go on, you take this. I'm not even going to pretend. We're not even going to do this little routine where we pretend to the opposition that we don't know who's going to kick it to keep them guessing. I'm going to step away. It's going to be you, just addressing the ball. You try and kick that in the goal. And it was almost like his little reward. I'm guessing he does it a lot in training anyway, so let's be fair, it's not like letting Fabianski take a free kick, is it? But I liked it. And I think it showed the esteem in which he's held within the squad. He's going to be a much, much appreciated player. Maybe it hasn't turned out for Lanzini at West Ham quite as he'd liked. I think that's down to injury. But I tell you what, he's a massive part of the team, massive part of the squad. And even if he doesn't start in what we would call our first choice 11, he's got a hell of a role to play for West Ham this season. Anyway, just wanted to say that, and I was right too. Look, that's just me talking, not even Gio. That's another 10 minutes without which the review could have done without. Anyway, I'll catch up with you tomorrow.